shame on you and shame on the mainstream media for trying to cover for these individuals who have. This is a vicious gang, Andrew. This is a.
No one's trying to cover for anyone. She's melting down. All right, you got to check this out. Caroline Leavitt just got in a debate with a reporter after she was confronted on some breaking news regarding the Trump admin's blatant disregard for the law and for due process. Now, I want to play this clip of Caroline Leavitt, then I want to break down this report from the ACLU detailing how the Department of Homeland Security is using this incredibly odd tier system to deport people. I mean, really quickly, the American Civil Liberties Union submitted a court document claiming to reveal a point system that the Trump admin allegedly uses to determine whether an individual has affiliation with gangs. The only thing is, this point system is odd, it's completely arbitrary, and it's based off of people's tattoos. Not even specific tattoos, just tattoos in general. And when Caroline Leavitt got confronted on this, she said that the reporter was very, very shameful. But like, look at this. These are allegedly the tattoos that were used to deport people, not to charge them, not to convict anyone, not to give anyone a trial, but to deport them to a slave prison in El Salvador with zero due process. These are just normal tattoos. It's got a crown on both sides. I don't understand. This says gang affiliation, trend, day, Aragua, leadership, position or rank, unknown. They don't even know who he is. On initial interview, detainee Hernandez stated he was not a member of any gang. But then, conducting a review of detainee Hernandez's tattoos found that detainee Hernandez has a crown on each one of his wrists. The crown could be an identifier, and apparently that was enough to deport him entirely. It's terrifying. Let me just point out before I play this clip of Caroline Leavitt, when people say that non-citizens don't get due process, you have to realize without due process, who decides who's a citizen? You can get deported. Anybody can get deported if there's no due process because that's when you prove that you're a citizen, right? Non-citizens don't get due process, but without due process, there are no citizens. You are whatever the closest ICE agent says you are, and when you're in an authoritarian regime, they don't care if you're a citizen or not. You don't have the due process to prove that. The Fifth Amendment states that, quote, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, property without due process of law. Crucially, it says person, not citizen, which courts have interpreted to include non-citizens physically present in the U.S. So whether you're here legally, whether you're here illegally, if you're on U.S. soil, you have right to due process unless you're part of the Trump admin. Let's watch this clip of Caroline Leavitt because she goes debate mode to try to save her ass optically, but it just does not work. Of course, make sure you scroll down, drop a like, and subscribe.
Guide that DHS is using to determine who is an enemy alien, a Trendy Aragua member, and deportable under the Enemy Aliens Act. It has criteria here that require 8 points to be classified as a TDA member. You can get classified by simply having certain symbols in your tattoos and wearing certain streetwear brands. That alone is enough to get someone classified as TDA and sent to L.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to hear what the reporter is saying right there, but he's just reading about the point system. I hate to interrupt this, but really quickly, the department reportedly organizes its criteria into 6 categories. You have criminal behavior, self-admissions, you have other stuff that have different values. One category contains a section about tattoos, signifying membership or loyalty to Tren de Aragua. It also includes a category for social media posts by individuals showing symbols of the gang. DHS reportedly values tattoos at 4 points, and if you communicate electronically with a known gang member, that is another 6 points. And if you get 8 points, you are classified Tren de Aragua and deported. So when we look at these tattoos, they classified these as 4 points each. That was 8 points. This person, therefore, got deported just because of that. Again, they didn't get charged. They didn't get a trial because of the tattoos. They didn't get convicted, which would still be bad, but that's different. They got deported to an actual slave prison in El Salvador. And this just based off of arbitrary, aesthetic, cultural criteria. Like, hey, I don't like the tattoos or the streetwear that you have. There were even reports that people wearing Bulls jerseys were given points because apparently that is associated closely with Venezuelan nationals. Chicago Bulls jerseys. That's the kind of association that gets people deported. Again, not convicted or charged, but full on deported. And a lot of times these people are being sent to brutal, violent prisons. Let's continue this clip of Caroline Leavitt. I'm going to rewind a little bit.
And wearing certain streetwear brands, that alone is enough to get someone classified as TDA and sent to El Salvador.
That's not true, actually, Andrew.
According to this document, it is.
No, according to the Department of Homeland Security and the agents, have you talked to the agents who have been putting their lives on the line to detain these foreign terrorists who have been terrorizing our communities? TDA is a vicious gang that has taken the lives of American women. And our agents on the front lines take deporting these people with the utmost seriousness, and there is a litany of criteria that they use to ensure that these individuals qualify as foreign terrorists and to ensure that they qualify for deportation. And the president made it incredibly clear to the American public that there would be a mass deportation campaign of not just foreign terrorists, but also illegal criminal aliens who have been wreaking havoc on American communities. And
by the way, she's not even answering the question. I'm going to say this for the millionth time. Get any Tren de Aragua members out of the country. If somebody came over here illegally and they're actually committing crimes, and we've shown with due process in a trial that this person is a harm to the country, I'm not going to protest that. No Democrat will. No sane person wants more criminals in the country. But the problem that we have, number one, is conflating all immigrants with criminals when the immigrants commit crimes at lower rates than native-born U.S. citizens. Most of the time, immigrants want to come make a better life in America. But also, we want due process. If you're going to deport someone for being Tren de Aragua, prove that first and not based off of some arbitrary system like tattoos. But what she's saying, she's trying to claim in this clip that Democrats want more criminals in the country. The reason I make it so clear that we don't is because we can't let them draw the narrative for us. For some reason, people in the comments have gotten mad that I say we should be deporting criminals or people like Tren de Aragua. No, we should want that, of course. And we should say that we want that so Caroline Leavitt cannot control the narrative.
Shame on you and shame on the mainstream media for trying to cover for these individuals who have. This is a vicious gang, Andrew. This is
No one's trying to cover for anyone. She's melting down.
a vicious gang that has taken the lives of American women.
The government filed in court, which says all.
And you said yourself there are 8 criteria on that document.
They need 8 points.
And you are questioning the credibility of these agents who are putting their life on the line to protect.
Okay, so Caroline Leavitt did a lot of slippery things in this clip, and it's almost not even worth breaking down because, God, everyone knows she's a snake. Even Trump supporters say that. But really quickly, she immediately lies and says that he should read the DHS memo, but he's citing the DHS memo. The reporter is citing that. And then she cites the memo and says basically that there are 8 criteria that are needed. No, there are 8 points that are needed. That's the reality. Caroline Leavitt is claiming that they need to fit all 8 criteria, but the reality is one tattoo can equal 4 points, and that's the scary thing. Just to reiterate, just so everyone knows, 8 points and you're considered a member of Tren de Aragua, but you get 4 points for a tattoo, 6 points for communications with someone the government suspects, and you can even earn 4 points if you're seen wearing apparel associated with Venezuelan nationals. People have said that even Bulls jerseys can get you striked. And this is a breaking story. It just broke. This says document appears to show how Trump admin identifies Venezuelan gang members. In a recent court filing, the ACLU has submitted what they believe is this document, and it does not seem good. It's titled the Alien Enemy Validation Guide. I mean, these photos in and of itself just look incredibly violent. And like, dude, here's the thing. The Trump admin is trying to base this tattoo strategy, this tattoo validation strategy, off of strategies that other regimes, like the Maduro regime, has tried. But the thing is, there are certain types of gangs where it's a necessity to get your entire head tattooed or to get very specific tattoos all across your arm. So it's a lot easier to validate that than to look at somebody who's got like a butterfly tattoo and be like, hey, wait a minute, we should deport this person with zero due process without checking whatsoever. But watch this clip of Caroline Leavitt further talking about Trump wanting a third term.
To potentially run for a third term, as he said, there are methods there.
Look, you guys continue to ask the president this question about a third term, and then he answers honestly and candidly with a smile, and then everybody here melts down about his answer.
He answers honestly and candidly and shows that he candidly hates the Constitution and hates everything that America is supposed to stand for, which is a check on power, which is democracy. So, yeah, we do freak out a little bit. And I think that, honestly, right now, we shouldn't take the bait. When Trump says that he wants a third term, yes, it is terrifying, chilling, authoritarian, and we need to have that conversation, but we haven't even made it to the midterms. Trump is purposefully riling shit up right now because he wants people to be distracted and not talk about Signalgate, not talk about the rising prices. There will be a time when we need to hammer home the third term thing, and I think that there's even space for that now, but just don't get distracted too much when the main point is like, dude, why is this dude raising prices and leaking national information? And I'll leave it at that. I love each and every single one of you. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and peace out.